the sky, the ships appear. Alien secrets from our past revealed. The time has come to meet the other world. The time has come. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone anymore. We are not alone. There are many races from different worlds.
This is base to Alpha 1. This is base to Alpha 1. Do you read over? Yeah, base, this is Alpha 1. I read over. Go ahead.
UFO and aliens.
We have a solid application area. Please take a look over and advise.
Will they let me be? UFO and aliens abducting me in my dreams. Some of them are friendly, some of them are mean. Leave me alone. We are not alone. We are not alone anymore. Stop the abductions. Let my soul be. Stop the probing, tests and torturing. Please release me from these nightmares. Free my being from this madness. We are not alone.
Roger that, Alpha.
Authorities tell us they have no reason to believe foul play is connected with his disappearance.
Authorities tell us they have no reason to
Disappearance
believe foul
is a
play.
mystery. Family and co-workers claim to have no knowledge of his
Where is Brandon
whereabouts.
Scott? And now
The
that
question
is nowhere
now
to be
is,
found.
where is Brandon Scott?
Oh, he's probably dead. I hope he's dead. Makes a better story.
I heard he's homeless and live on the street.
He uncovered something so earth-shattering. I'm not surprised he disappeared.
I don't know where he went.
I shouldn't have left without telling somebody. They're probably looking for me, wondering where I am. Some of my fans and closest friends, people I care about, think I'm crazy. It all seems so surreal. Memories fade like clouds, foggy, like old movies, home movies badly lit. We can't remember the details, but we hope they're still there, somewhere engraved in our mind. Unless someone or something somewhere tampers with them, all we can do is run. Rerun them over and over again in our mind. Try not to forget what we know. Dare not forget, else we're lost to this world at least, like it's a secret. I realized that the soul of humankind, history, future, and especially our free will, was at a vortex of extinction. I'm being followed. I know I am. That's why I'm taking the train. If I don't make it to the president, human life as we know it could end.
Well, when they first assigned me the case, I kind of knew he was dangerous, but I had no idea he'd make the top of the 10 most wanted list. And when I started looking into his background, I noticed some really peculiar things.
I was given arsenic to combat an amoeba in me. That's what the doctor said. Well, it was one big amoeba. It was Brandon. Fortunately, I was lucky. He came out all right and seemed healthy enough. You know kids always getting into weird stuff.
I would like to tell you about Brandon, the UFO man, in Spanish, El OVNI man, a good friend of mine. He was born with a lot of talents. You know what? He even thought he was an athlete at school.
He was a klutz. He accidentally locked himself in the bathroom. He needed a map to find the key. He needed a map to find the map. I found a crowbar and I broke the door down. Damn door's still broken. At least he won't get locked in anymore.
You know, he was an enigma. He was always traveling, going places, meeting people.
He had a fascination with magic and always wanted to create, invent the perfect illusion.
Me. He broke my heart. I'd like him to put me back together again.
He was an artist, only one of the most dangerous people on Earth, and I had to stop him before it was too late. So I decided I'd collect as much garbage on the guy as I could, even if I had to make it up.
He was climbing the ladder all around the world, an international star, una estrella internacional.
I flew in at LAX, they had a white limousine for me, and they had like 100 people cheering and applauding and press taking pictures. It was great. If you don't believe me, ask Julio Iglesias. He was right behind me.
Another night of memories, another night of feeling strange, surrounded by the dark. But my timing's been the worst. Too little and too late. I should have.
Ich habe keine Ahnung. Brandon hat wahrscheinlich, I don't know. I think he was just having fun and at the same time making a comment on the idea of what it's like to be famous. I mean, who knew then that he would drop so low?
I think it all went to his head. Se le subieron los humos.
It's almost funny. Everything you work for can change in the blink of an eye. The tabloids say you've punched 2 people in the last week. I was wrong. 3. The network executive somehow saw this as a provoked attack on a celebrity, and I was fired. I asked the wrong questions. They offered me a job. I listened. No, I had fallen. The word was out. I couldn't get a job, not on TV, not with the newspapers. In that dark moment, I didn't realize how lucky I was. Honey! Hello, honey, I'm home.
Hey! Whoa!
Hi.
What is...
Here, check that out. All right, I'm gonna go after that job.
Brandon, how are you gonna prove this?
I have an idea.
I thought he was nuts. And then he tried faking a UFO so he could get the job.
I proceeded to simulate a UFO landing with the help of my friend Joseph, who had an eye for the camera.
No, nothing.
Joseph.
Spin it a little more. Spin it.
This is amazing. Look, UFOs in Russia, UFOs in Iceland. This is a painting from the 14th 14th century. Check that out. And then these videos, these are amazing, are all of like pilots by just regular people all over the world. Look. Okay, look. That's a UFO. Look at that. That's a UFO. The harder I tried to fake a UFO over the city, the more ridiculous it looked. I was consumed by pictures and videos of unidentified flying objects. A little bit too much, I'm afraid. Not only did I realize there was no way I was going to fool anyone, I became more convinced that flying saucers were real.
Everything you know must eventually go away. Everything you know, neither mountain nor ocean can stand in the way.
Fortunately, there was this internet group known as aliensecrets.com who knew more about what was happening than most super scientists.
We're a worldwide service and we operate strictly in cyberspace. Our extensive research library has all of the cutting-edge evidence and real stories that you need for a TV show. Let's make an alliance. Let's work together. I'll download some files for you to look at. You know, most of us are big fans here, so we would be happy to work with you, Brandon.
You won't believe the stories they gave me, Mikey. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get this job.
Why don't you just tell them the truth? You interviewed celebrities. You were a celebrity. A professional like Barbara Wawa. What's her name? You're good at what you do. At least you're funny.
It went better than I could ever imagine. He loved my notorious reputation of asking the hard questions. My getting punched closed the deal. He said,
I like the controversy. Makes me trust you.
Brandon didn't know his show was doomed from the get-go. We planned to cancel it after the first season. But I keep him happy, you know. I told him what he wanted to hear.
and he bought my ideas on UFOs and interviewing famous people in the UFO field. I've decided to become a full-time UFO investigator. Find out the truth.
How do you make a living doing that?
It's a specialized job. There's ways.
That's really good, Brandon, huh? That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And look, my official investigator jacket. What do you think?
It's a lot of black.
Where are you guys gonna hang out? We're just gonna have her come and run into the booth.
And then run out here and run out.
Yeah.
And forward and back and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Roll tape!
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico.
3, 2, and cue him!
UFOs, extraterrestrials, abduction phenomena. These are ideas that have been ridiculed and suppressed for decades that are now becoming everyday words in our mainstream society. Are UFOs real or are they not? We want to know. And we'll go anywhere, even out there, to find out the truth.
I had no freedom to do anything about it. It was really very, very frightening. I felt violated.
Could what they say be true? How will this affect us? We'll find out this week on Out There.
He somehow got lucky and stumbled onto some information that the department considered to be a threat to national security, so he was going down, plain and simple.
First time I heard about Brandon UFO man, I laughed. What kind of secret is he? Впервые я слышу о Брэндоне. Я смеюсь. Что за секрет он имеет?
The more research I did, the more I needed to do. I was learning to go beneath the surface, get underneath the answer to the roots, and then dig deeper.
He was someone who always flew outside of the box. You know, the kind, someone from another world. From the looks of his show, you would have thought he was living in some cave with the natives.
But as I got into it, I had more questions than answers. Like a magic trick, you see the results, but you don't know how it came about. I decided if UFOs were really real, I wanted to see one for myself and record it on video. I wanted proof.
A bunch of us saw Brandon on TV and we knew he was the one. I was in Bengal and I emailed him immediately.
Brandon, we screened a woman in Palmdale by Edwards Air Force Base. She used to work for a top secret laboratory. She was fired and she wants to talk with you about it. She says she'll take you to see a real UFO. She's concerned about her safety though and wants to protect her identity. Be careful, you may be followed.
She told us to meet her at a certain place at a certain time. She was late or lost. We tried to find her. She didn't show up. We kept calling her. She kept changing locations. We were running all over the desert, out of time and low on gas. She was elusive. Just like this rainbow, where sometimes you see it and sometimes you don't.
I think we're entering into a dangerous situation here. I want to set up some sort of communication protocol.
What's that over there?
Ah, that's her.
And then, sometimes in the least expected moment, you find the heart of the situation.
All right, well, we don't have to take that part. Okay. But how did you get started in all this?
I am a medical psychologist, but it's a medical hypnotherapist. It's a new field of medicine. I'm a physician associate, which is you go to school to be a doctor, but you don't get your MD, you get your PA. And I've worked in that field for about 15 years. And
what do you think it is?
Basically, it's very advanced information from other worlds, mysterious pregnancies that would they'd be pregnant and all of a sudden it's called a blighted ovum, where they would say...
She introduced me to a world I didn't know existed. A world I would have rather found on a sci-fi station.
I was working at the hospital up here and I was fired because I had a UFO laboratory. So it forced me to go into my own private practice, which is doing very well. Most of them end up just having this strange pregnancy, and a lot of times they're very, very, very sick. I mean, it's like they're violently ill. And some of them have to go as far as to having, a DNC and removing the pregnancy. See this hill to your left?
Yes.
There'll be some activity there. Most of them have blood type O. Because
now, how do you know this?
O is because I know this from research and from medicine. The oldest bloodline is O. And it's AB and AB and all that has, the people have allergies and they have interbred with certain people that didn't take very well, so they're not healthy. As a matter of fact, the extraterrestrials, a lot of the hybrids who are here, they're extremely, extremely delicate and cannot have the dosage of medication that an average person of their height and weight can take. They have to take baby dosages of medication.
According to this woman, there are secret laboratories, UFOs, and alleged aliens in this area. But why so near one of our air bases? Does the military know about this? Through the Freedom of Information Act, I requested documents from the government and the military. What I got was countless blacked out documents, page after page of names, places, and details deleted. And lastly, I received an official report from the United States Air Force declaring that UFOs do not exist. Reporting both sides of the story, this is Brandon Scott for Out There.
What's he wasting his time on people like that for? He should go back to interviewing celebrities.
I don't know, I kind of like this show. It seems so real. I told all my friends.
I started to take things more seriously. Cases had similar details and situations. It was obvious that there was a pattern. There was something going on, and I had to find out what it was.
What up, Brandon? Right back at you on your last request. Got a hot lead, ex-military intelligence officer Bob Dean. He worked on a top-secret program on UFOs.
Yeah, Brandon, check him out.
He wants to meet first, see if he can trust you.
Anybody can do it. You can.
Peace out.
Peace out.
As I understood it, Bob Dean was shy of interviewers. But I needed to get something, no matter what. So I got my cameraman to carry a hidden camera. We had fun. I liked him. I think he liked me.
That alliance is based entirely upon the strength of Germany, Great Britain, and the United States.
He agreed to give me a formal taped interview. I needed someone credible. Bob Dean appeared to be the one.
The human race is indeed a hybrid race, that we have very likely been seeded here on this planet, and that I have concluded that we have been continually genetically manipulated on this planet for the last several 100,000 years. I was a professional soldier, really, I must say. I wore a crew cut. I was a no-nonsense, infantry-trained professional. And no nonsense. I didn't believe in off-the-wall things, new age kind of things. The UFO phenomenon had intrigued me, and I was curious about it, but I didn't know very much about it. And that all changed in 1963 when I received an assignment to the Supreme Headquarters, Allied Powers in Europe, acronym SHAPE. And due to my top-secret clearance, I was given a cosmic top-secret clearance, which allowed me to be assigned in the Supreme Headquarters Operations Center, which at that time, and still is, was the war room. I've learned over the years that we're dealing with several different intelligences out there, not just one. In 1976, before I retired, we knew that there were at least 4, perhaps even more, maybe a dozen different groups. I learned over the years that one of the groups that we knew about looks exactly like we do. And I mean exactly, so much so they could sit next to you in a theater or a restaurant or on a plane and you'd never know the difference. The idea that there could be an advanced extraterrestrial intelligence in our midst that we couldn't see, we couldn't recognize or control, that bothered them a lot. But that was only the beginning. When they began to realize over the years that this intelligence, whoever or whatever it is, seems to be in some degree in control of life on this planet, that's really got their attention. We're dealing with an intelligence that apparently had a hand in the human race being here. And that's a sensitive subject to broach to a lot of people. The fact that the human race is possibly, very probably, and very likely a hybrid species. The military learned a number of years ago that it was not simply interplanetary, or interstellar, or intergalactic. It was all of those things. Plus it was involving, apparently, intelligences that were multidimensional. And that we've had what I call an intimate interrelationship with extraterrestrial advanced intelligence from the beginning of human history. We've got to change, and we've got to change quickly. And in my view, accepting and understanding the reality of this phenomenon, that we're not alone, that we've never been alone, that in itself, I think will bring us together.
According to this prominent military officer, there is a major threat to life as we know it. Bob Dean shared with me off camera that there is a conspiracy going on inside the military and the government to hide and debunk information about UFOs. If what he says is true, are these aliens living in our neighborhoods? Are we secretly being invaded? And if they are creating a hybrid race, there have to be human mothers somewhere who know something. I will find them for you. In pursuit of the truth, this is Brandon Scott for Out There.
Oh, that's sick.
Show Booba, show Dar.
The show was a big hit. Things began moving in the right direction for him.
I thought he had finally found his voice. You know, that thing that makes him special.
I don't think he cared what toes he steps on. He enjoys watching the establishment squirm. And he got a sense of justice after what the TV stations had done to him earlier in his career.
You know, success goes to your head every time, like a drug. You can't control it. Well, I can control it. Yeah, right. That's when his research team sent him down a dark path.
Found a freaky hybrid story. Woman calls herself the intergalactic diva. She's a singer and she wrote a book. If she likes you, she'll give you an interview. She's having a party Saturday night. Your invite should be there by now. Try to fit in. Heads up, got a tip there might be a government spy there, so watch your back.
Closing in on I get that old familiar feeling that I just might get some company. Could be friendly. I swear I don't know.
Yeah, we caught all of his concubines together on tape finally. There's a little blonde one there you can see, that's our agent. She was my idea.
An old mentor of mine always tells me,
sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I was hoping he's right.
I mean, people say, well, why are you coming forward with this stuff? Do you want to be famous? And the deal is, this doesn't make you famous or popular. In fact, a lesser courageous person, it would ruin your life. I mean, I've lost jobs and lovers and friends and a lot of nights of sleep, and there's really very little reward except that you're finally telling your truth and that you're helping other people. I know we haven't talked about the reptilians yet, but that was the second species that showed up for me. I had awakened from a sleep state and I was making love to an entity, a male, human male, very attractive, speaking to me telepathically. And I remember saying to myself at that moment, I said, what is this? This is not a dream. This is not astral projection. I'm awake, I'm in my bedroom, and there's this gorgeous man making love to me, speaking to me telepathically, telling me all kinds of wonderful things. Everything that you would want a lover to tell you, that they never do. And all of a sudden, I opened my eyes, and in front of me, this entity shape-shifted into a reptilian that was larger than the entity that was inside of me. And I almost freaked out. I panicked, because I knew that I was awake. I knew this was a real, conscious, physical encounter. I have never met the hybrid reptilian child. I had a false pregnancy in November. I don't put it past certain factions of the military or the elite government, whatever you want to call them, who might be doing these things for espionage purposes, for experimentational purposes. I have no doubt in my mind that it's possible that they are planting scenarios of abduction experiences so as to make anyone that might come forward with a mind control story seem totally implausible. I don't negate that possibility, but I also think it's bigger than that.
Are her reptilian aliens the same that Bob Dean spoke of? I asked myself, if Diva is being a victim of having her free will taken away, she had sex with an alien and they took her baby. I don't care where you're from. If you have anything done to you without your consent, this is wrong. And where is this half alien, half human hybrid? I'm going to find it for you. This is Brandon Scott for Out There. In the typical abduction experience, victims are awakened by a high-pitched or buzzing sound and are rendered paralyzed. The room is filled with light, and only eye movement is possible. Typically, one or more humanoid beings are present. Consciously or through the help of hypnosis, abductees remember being floated off the bed or up through the ceiling and onto the craft. Oh boy. Do you know anything about alien hybrids?
To be honest with you, I never heard of it before.
We're asking people if they know anything about hybrids, you know, like UFOs, abductions, and hybrids.
Oh. I think that might not be a bad idea.
Because I've always wondered if there was other people that have had that experience, because, like I said, it didn't seem like a dream at all. They were like doing some kind of operation or examination, and I had no freedom to do anything about it. It was really very, very frightening. I felt violated.
Now, do you know that there's people here who've had that same dream?
I have no idea.
You want to meet them and see what they say about it? Are we on? Yeah. We're approaching the Zero booth. Here it is. You see, this is where the alien is, right over here. You see the alien over there? And I was just talking to Susan just out of the blue. I said, do you know anything about abductions or aliens? She goes, no. And then she remembered a dream that she had.
You've had this same experience.
I've woken up in sheer terror.
And I'm getting goosebumps.
And I've woken up feeling paralyzed for a few seconds.
The same exact feeling. It was terror and this paralysis.
That happened. Do you ever remember where you're in bed and all of a sudden you feel like you can't move?
Yeah.
I felt kicking in my, similar to when I was pregnant, and I wasn't pregnant at all. It was impossible.
I felt like they were like picky, like poking and like examining or something, It wasn't a very good feeling. It was really made me really, really angry.
On a subconscious level, you are quite aware of this sheer terror that's very familiar to you.
Yeah.
As soon as a few minutes pass, you forget, but you don't really have, on a conscious level, know what the terror, why it's
caused. Is that typical? Is it?
From what I can see, there are no choices being made here. She had a dream, a nightmare, that through another victim quickly became a reality. I was fortunate to help her discover this turning point in her life. But this has gone too far. Too many of our women are being abused, their human rights stripped away in such a clever way that many victims are unconscious of these heinous acts being done to them. In the face of this emergency and danger, it is my duty to put out an alarm, to protect ourselves, defend our women, take cover, get armed, do what we have to do to protect our loved ones and our humanity. I will do what I can to flush out these intruders. This is Brandon Scott for Out There.
Telling you the truth, Brandon started scaring me. The studio was getting letters from church groups and radical organizations complaining about Brandon's unorthodox method of journalism. The head of the studio called me into his office, started complaining, blaming me like I was the weirdo. I didn't know what to do.
I heard they were gonna maybe cancel his show, but during ratings week, his ratings skyrocketed. How can anyone can a hit show? That's why they didn't cancel it. All it did was give Brandon more power to really go out there, and that's exactly what he did.
Tell us the truth! 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 Tell us the truth!
He was studying Tai Chi, and they used to take these sojourns into the wilderness. He was an adventurous fool. That's what I liked about him. He wasn't always in suits.
He got into the occult worship of human alien art.
Brandon started finding anyone and everyone who had anything to do with aliens, relevant or irrelevant.
Well, I searched my whole life through for a love that I could hold. In fact, for someone just like you. Well, I like the way, yes, I like the way that you know my soul. Let's not question if it's real. Let's just go with what we feel. You know, whenever I'm with you, I feel the sun across my face. Whenever I'm with you, my senses come alive. Now, whenever I'm with you, I feel my heart stop.
Look at the baby, oh, look at the baby. Look at the baby, look.
I'm going to try to get some info, get an interview with them. I haven't been able to yet. They came out of the limousine. I talked to them briefly. Hello.
Good job.
Hello, I'm Brandon Scott, and I'm here at the 50th anniversary of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds for Out There.
You know, bugging him was my job. It made him sharp. Without it, he would have stayed the hack reporter that he was. You know, I gave him purpose in life, even if that purpose was just to piss me off.
What do you think? Do you think it's a possibility that there's maybe aliens
Well, I don't
around?
know if they're aliens, but I'm sure there's life on there's life out there somewhere.
Great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
And you look beautiful.
You're so kind.
Yes.
You're so kind to be here.
Reporting for Out There, I am Brandon Scott.
He was definitely a fake. US government used it only.
I had a job to do and I did it. Can't really blame me for that, can you? Problem? Won't start?
Yeah, I won't start.
Yeah, pop the hood, I'll look at it.
Must eventually go away.
Thanks, by the way.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Neither mountain nor ocean can stand in the way.
Okay, try it now.
Thanks.
Hey, no problem. Hey, aren't you Brandon Scott? The UFO secrets, the alien secrets?
Yeah. You watch my show?
Oh yeah, you're incredible, man. I watch that show all the time. You're like the Dan Rather of UFOs.
You really think so?
Yeah, hey, that hybrid alien thing, the alien human thing, that is so cool. Have you found anything yet?
No, not
I'm
really,
a DJ.
no.
I have a radio show. And I'd be honored if you'd come on it and just talk. I mean, put stuff out there, see what happens, see what comes up. You'd be welcome. I'd be honored.
Yeah, it could be helpful.
Okay, here, look, let me leave you my card. I know you're in a hurry. Here's my card. My name's Bill Smith. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, great.
Just, I don't know, give me a call whenever you have a chance.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for helping me out.
Oh, no problem.
I couldn't help but
Thanks,
wonder
man.
if he had something to do with my truck not starting, especially after what happened.
You know how it is. Joe Public can't handle the truth. You got to keep them fat and happy and ignorant. Or is it fat, ignorant, and happy? Well, just ignorant, anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with UFO investigator Brandon Scott.
Yes, I have a show on the network. It's called Out There, and I do reporting of UFO news from all over the world.
So obviously you think that UFOs and aliens and stuff are real.
Yes.
So is this an obsession of yours, or maybe it's a delusion because people have been trying for decades and no one has ever produced a single scrap of evidence? But maybe you're going to be the guy who does it, right? You're going to be the special one.
Well, it is my intention. I'm particularly focusing on a certain aspect of the phenomena.
Oh, yeah. That's the UFO alien-human hybrid thing, right? Where aliens are coming down to Earth, mating with human females, and then producing offspring.
That's right.
You know, it's bad enough we got to worry about rock stars and shoe salesmen taking our girlfriends and stuff, but now we got to worry about aliens too? I don't know if I can compete with that.
Well, it's not really like that. It's
okay,
more
well
like...
then just what exactly is it like? I mean, until a UFO actually lands in my backyard, I'm not buying any of this crap. Have you ever had a real job, Brandon? Okay, what would you do if you actually met an alien?
Well, I would like to...
I'd bet $100 you'd piss your pants, and then you'd run around like a chicken.
Look, I did not come here for this.
It was clear that I was set up.
Well, okay, UFO investigator Brandon Scott, he is leaving the building and he's gone. Let's take a phone call. Line 1, let's see what you have to say.
You promise not to laugh?
Mm-hmm.
I have these dreams.
Dreams.
They're about aliens. They're, I think, trying to abduct me. They come from a faraway galaxy. They speak They're watching me. They're trying to tell me something.
Another witness recorded this unearthly occurrence above the skies of Nuremberg, Germany. On the morning of April 14th, 1561, huge round cylinders appeared above the city. Smaller ones emerged from them, appearing to engage in battle with one another.
Yesterday out of a 7-year sleep, from a trance I had fallen in so deep. The ancients had carved their dirty dogma on my cells. You said the word and I fell under the spell. Woke up from a 7-year sleep. This time
have you seen a UFO?
Sounds vaguely Latin to me, UFO.
It flies, it's got lights, it has little gray people in it that take children.
Were they squat and poorly shaped, not like a man?
Yes.
Oh, they're demons. You summoned a demon from the depths of hell. Now, look at what you've done.
They kind of have ears like you. Oh, no, they don't have ears. Some of them do, some of them don't.
UFOs?
UFOs, they're flying objects. You ever seen any flying object?
Dragons.
You're talking about dragons? It's kind of like a dragon, but there's people that live in it, and they take little kids.
Where is this dragon? Out of his arse, they come over anywhere.
Out of my what?
Out of your arse.
Out of my arse?
Out of your arse.
My arse.
You're a hind end, man.
I knew things were going south for him. I didn't know how to handle it. And I was losing my sanity. It was like I was living with a turtle who just wouldn't come out of his shell. His UFO shell. I did everything I could to try to get him to see a shrink.
I saw what was happening to Terry Ann, and I wondered if maybe I went too far. I couldn't help but think that maybe I was wrong, that maybe I should just give up. I felt desperately like I had to find a way to have a normal life.
Tell us what we need to know. The thoughts we think are in vain will make us shrink like a daisy chain.
It's better to be lucky than good.
He fell in love with every woman he ever worked with. Did he have an affair with all of them? I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But I wish he'd had one with me. Vill han ha gett med mer?
Now, I've been discovering these women who are pregnant without being with any human, and that's changing everything. There are too many identical stories of their pain, of their extraterrestrial involvement, and it's starting to happen to me. This is all I think about. I can't do my laundry, I can't clean my house. I'm videotaping myself in my sleep in case I get abducted. I have cameras all over my house, in my car.
I have my alien pen, my alien flashlight, my keychain, my alien cell phone. Should I worry about this?
Brandon was a lonely man. He needed a friend, un compañero, un amigo.
What was I, a rug mat?
Something's coming, creeping in and looking down.
A dog. The neighbors had a dog. Some people knew I loved nature. They asked me to help them rescue a big dog. And when we did, we found an adorable puppy.
In every tick of every clock, it all began. And now it is growing. Down in the cracks, deep and so wide, where all the little things.
He loved that dog. He started to teach Pup how to detect aliens, just in case there were some in the neighborhood.
He loved that dog more than me.
I had everything under control. And when I finally relaxed, I was able to enjoy my life with Terry Ann. And we were happy to find out that she was pregnant. We were going to have a baby. For the next 4 months, everything seemed so perfect. It was like my life had a new purpose.
Brandon. Brandon.
Hi, good morning. Until Terry Ann woke up one morning and was feeling something wrong with the baby.
I've never seen anything quite like this. And according to the blood tests, the child isn't yours.
No, it can't be. It is mine. It can't. It's mine.
I am truly sorry, Mr. Scott.
It's not my baby.
What are you
How can
talking
it not be my baby?
How are you concerned about it?
I don't understand.
I
Have you
haven't
been with
it.
somebody else?
No, of course I haven't.
But the doctor said it's not my baby.
Well,
This is Dr. Jensen. I think I've found what you've been looking for.
I've been searching for someone who knows me, who can teach me the value of two, who can get through the rough and just never give up. I've been searching for someone like you.
Brandon approached me with this stupid idea that my baby was an alien-human hybrid. My God, what was he thinking? Have you ever heard of anything so ridiculous?
It was like his dreams took on a life of their own. I never believed a word of it. He actually thought he was going to save the world.
And bought myself a new building for my new business.
That's not a building, that's a water tower.
It'll be fine. It's perfect. It's round like a UFO. It'll be a great headquarters.
And he started selling everything and bought that strange building. He spent all our savings on it. What was he thinking? We had a baby coming. He didn't even ask me.
She had a point. We did have a thing coming, but I wanted to know more about what it might be. So I searched the underground and got an urgent email from a woman who had top secret information.
Follow through. Well, I've seen your face in the crowd.
But did she have what I needed?
It's Julie.
She was plain and shy and claimed to have a hybrid child. Who's this?
It's my son. He's part of the program.
Excuse me. I've seen this before. It's a scoop mark.
Scoop marks are evidence that she was abducted. Test samples scraped off her body. God only knows where else they took their deadly samples.
It's all part of the plan.
That's when she told me where to find a hybrid who could tell me more about the program. I had no idea what I was up against.
walked on stage and he started to play a magic tune.
My only fear was that this one might not be real. A hoax, somebody manipulating my investigation. And if she is real, how can we get the truth to the right people?
This is really exciting for me because I've been wanting to meet a hybrid all this time, and well, now here we are, and I don't know where to begin.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you and the other people involved in this project for having the guts to do this. There are many mysteries, and there's a lot of information being kept from the public, truths that need to be made known, and the public's not going to be able to discern the truth or empower themselves or to be able to do anything about what's going on unless they're made aware of what's going on. So I applaud your efforts in this. I wanted to say that.
How did you discover that you were a hybrid?
There are some very unusual things about me physically. I have been told that my bone structure is unusual. I have less bones in my body. They're shaped differently. There are some strange things with my blood. I'm an O negative. They don't know where the negative factor comes from.
Do you have an understanding what genetic background you're from? What alien genetic background you may be a hybrid of?
I'd have to say that it's a human-alien genetic mix on one level or another. So every person on this planet is probably a hybrid.
Wow.
Is it hybrids or linked to the children of Earth? We are the go-betweens, and we are being trained to initiate other people into the new world. And that's why it's so important for hybrids to speak out and to be more open, because we are this link between the humans who don't know what's going on and the visitors that are trying to help us.
I was intrigued. She looked so human. Exotic, but human. As I looked around, I saw their presence in toys and advertising. Maybe this was their psychological invasion, them conditioning us like Pavlov's dog, so that when they did show up, it would be no big deal. And I suddenly saw for the first time that everyone around me could be part of the program she was talking about. That would explain why we all look so different.
Your parents could be looking at me and your whole neighborhood could be hybrid. Tell me what your parents, your grandparents could be hybrid. This is they've been trying to do this for thousands, hundreds. What do you know?
Do you believe in aliens? Do you recognize me from Alien Secrets from out there? How do you know your child is not a hybrid?
He's fine.
How do you know that? You have to protect your family, protect your family, protect your wife and children. I know their secret.
Thanks.
I know their secret. Hey kid, you believe me, don't you? You believe in aliens?
Everyone knows that aliens live in outer space.
How did I get here? Who's looking at me? I'm living in a petri dish and I got to be free. How did I get here?
As promised, I have found a hybrid living among us. But first, based on my research, I have come to the conclusion that there is a race secretly being propagated on our planet through us, resulting in a hidden generation of humans. We are witnessing a giant leap in our genetic evolution and the next step in human consciousness.
Philip Corso, an Army intelligence colonel who saw the dead aliens recovered from the Roswell saucer crash in 1947, stated that the technology recovered from the alien craft led to the development of fiber optics, integrated circuit chips, night vision goggles, lasers, and super tenacity fibers.
The message in my book that I like to see is that the younger generation look at this and see what we did and see the help we got from outer space, and these beings exist.
And now, the children being born into the 21st century are incredibly more advanced and a lot more aware of what's going on.
I want to be a biogenetic engineer and an astronaut.
Why do you say that?
Because I want to get ready for the colonization.
Music is the answer. If you play music over 140 beats per minute, it helps keep the aliens away.
What if the aliens kidnapped us because they can no longer make babies and need to feed with us in order to survive?
I made this hat to protect myself. It keeps the aliens out of my dreams.
Give us information to the young people of the world in this country. They want to hear it. They want it. Give it to them. Don't hide it and tell lies and make stories. They're not stupid. It's their information. It doesn't belong to the Army or the Department of Defense. It's theirs. If it's classified, take the classification off and give it to them.
Without further ado, I bring you this remarkable interview that may change the way you look at life from now on.
When I was a little girl, I had this alien being who appeared in my bedroom when I was a little girl and showed me a picture as he was talking with me about how he was my father.
Television with a mind of its own.
You know, airing that interview around the world was a disaster.
Oh, everybody watched it. The world stopped for just a moment, but it proved to be his Armageddon.
That's when the death threats started happening. The networks forced a hiatus on my show and I had to lay low. 6 months, they said.
On a moonlit night in the quiet still, I will hold your hand and whisper, I have something you have something me. We have taken root in my heart, is what I dream.
Wake up! We need better alien repellent! Wake up, alien repellent! Think of an alien repellent! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up now! 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 Ah! Wake up now!
Waking from this horrible dream, I felt the fear and the knowing that they could come at any time and take our baby. One of my contacts at Alien Secrets arranged for me to meet Professor J.J. Hurtak, an expert on alien abductions and intervention.
If any of these women would like to be able to do something about their abductions, there's something that they can do.
I would suggest that music and consciousness are hidden variables which can orientate the way we think and create so as not to be subjected to negative thinking, repression, violence. It's like creating an electromagnetic umbrella over your body so that these negative thought forms cannot come in and use one part of the brain against another.
And he gave me a disc with music he said he'd been developing that helps reprogram the human mind to protect itself against alien abduction. I rushed home to share the news with Terry Ann, only to find it was too late.
Terry Ann, what's going on?
Brandon, the baby is gone. It's like he didn't even notice the baby was gone.
It was just there yesterday. Where are you going?
I'm going to live with my mother.
No, Terry Ann, just wait. Just
Give me that bag, please.
No, just...
Look, I have to get out of here. I'm totally freaked out, Brandon. I can't stay.
Terry Ann.
I'm sorry.
Terry Ann, you can't go. We have to at least find out what happened.
I know what happened. I had a dream last night. They came for me and took the baby, and then I woke up and it was gone.
Who took the baby?
The aliens. Your aliens, the ones you've been obsessing about. I'm leaving and I'm probably not coming back. I'm sorry.
Maybe you want someone who treats you rough, and now you're saying that you're leaving me. I find it sad when love just ain't enough. So Sometimes your very best just ain't enough. Sometimes your very best just ain't enough. Sometimes you give your very truest love, only to find out it just
I was so shocked.
Well, one thing that's should be always to be remembered is the fact that we have many, many women who were definitely pregnant, and there's no doubt about that based on the medical records, the pregnancy tests that were administered and so forth, who then had the pregnancy disappear with no evidence anywhere of a miscarriage.
It was now happening to me. And I just bought her a ring.
I saw the ring. I would have left too.
I needed support to help me through this. I needed to be around other people that would understand what was happening to me.
Something is missing in your motivational skills, your motor skills. You understand? Yes. All right. What could that thing be? Well, there are only two, count them, 1, 2, only 2 motivating forces on your planet. Just 2. Do you know what they are? Pleasure and pain. Everything you do, I'll give you a minute to check, just so you'll know that what we are saying is accurate. Every single thing you do is either motivated by the desire for pleasure or the avoidance of pain. Is it not? Yes. You need to change your orientation. Something within you thinks that to take the action will require more effort, more pain, more struggle than just simply staying put. And so you will opt for the least painful choice and stay put. So what do you have to do? You have to start associating more pain with staying put than you do with taking action.
And his show was canceled.
Then Out There was canceled.
They cut me off before I could finish my investigation. There was only one thing I could do to prove it once and for all. To catch an alien, or at least get close. And there was one place left I could go to for help.
We had to do something.
Come on, get in, guys.
We got the funding to do a sci-fi series for the web. We want to base it on our stories and your personal experience in the field. What do you think?
Hi, I'm Blue Girl, and you are watching the very first episode ever of Alien Secrets.
We're at aliensecrets.com, finding out about alien secrets. And the best place you can get some really cool secrets is by going to blackvault.com. We're talking to the creator of the hottest website called the Black Vault. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I do not 100% believe in aliens, believe it or not. I'm branded as a pure believer and hardcore enthusiast all the time, but in reality I've never seen one, and I'm kind of person that has to see to believe, and that's why, you know, I kind of do what I do, is I try and get the facts and what they are.
But you believe in the facts?
Oh, I believe in the facts, and the fact is government is hiding something. Something. It's real, you can send for it under what's called the Freedom of Information Act. And that's how I get all my documents, that's how I get everything from the government. It's a legal way to submit a request to the government to get particular information. Well, if they were government craft, the government wouldn't think they're UFOs. They'd know what they were. All these documents that I've gotten were requesting documents for UFOs. Now again, if it was a government craft, they wouldn't be unidentified. They'd be able to identify them. They wouldn't even come up under my requests. I found one completely blacked out. These were actually from the last 10 years. These were only in the 1990s. This was just one agency that still investigates UFOs, the Defense Intelligence Agency. Secondly, the National Security Agency, still top secret UFO documents, all blacked out, and there's hundreds of them. And there's endless trails of clues that lead to one central point, which is something is definitely being covered up.
There is information all around you. Report back with the data into your brain. Reach outside of yourself, and maybe you can find them. Alien secrets, 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 alien secrets.
In 1974, with the help of Carl Sagan, a digital binary signal containing the history of mankind was broadcast into space at the Arecibo Radio Telescope. 27 years later, an alleged response suddenly appeared in the form of a crop circle right next to the Chilbolton Radio Telescope in Hampshire, England. It has not been determined who or what made this message, but compared to the message beamed out in 1974, this symbol apparently indicates a response, including details of a third DNA strand different to ours. A year later, at Crabwood Farmhouse near Winchester, England, a startling crop circle was discovered that has been interpreted as an alien head with a disc containing a cryptic message. These controversial messages are still under investigation, but do demonstrate the possibilities of how communication could reach us from an off-world civilization.
Listen, I know that there are UFOs out there. I know it for sure because I have seen the pictures. And the pictures that I have seen have been like verified by military people. They've been verified by scientists, by experts, that they're not like modified pictures. They're not Adobe Photoshop pictures or anything like that. So I know that they're out there. I know that they're real UFOs. Please, just new evidence, okay? Some of these pictures are like from like 1950 and some of these pictures are like from 1990. I want to see a UFO today. And if you see a UFO today, please email me here, UFO man here. Please email me at Alien Secrets, all right? And anything, I mean, any proof.
In the sky, the ships appear. Alien secrets from our past revealed. The time has come to meet the other world. The time has come. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone anymore. We are not alone. There are many races from different worlds.
They were all over the sky. You should have seen them. Look at that. Look at that.
Say it's true. There are aliens down here abducting people or cloning, whatever. So what?
Which means we have to do something about this.
Yeah, like what?
Just wait a minute. I gotta just stay right here. As you know, I've been videotaping myself in my sleep. I think I found something.
We were watching every move he made. He wasn't going anywhere.
Sure.
What's this?
Just put it in.
Documentation of a sleeping man. Very profound and insightful.
Hey, guys, come on. Look, something strange is going on here, okay? Especially time. Time is being manipulated somehow because, look, you see the counter? It starts like at 2:33 and then it jumps to about 3:45 or so. Relax.
Yeah.
It's strange. Check this out. I haven't seen the rest of the tape. Maybe there's something else.
You were abducted! Brandon!
We all knew we had to do something about it, but what could we do? We're nobody. Brandon came up with this impossible idea about going to the president.
We gotta check you out for, like, spike marks and bite marks and teeth marks.
No. I already did
bite
that,
marks
okay?
and
I already did
teeth
that.
marks,
There's nothing
Brandon.
there. What happened to the power? I've got to get this tape to Alien Secrets.
I'll distract him in the front. You go out the back.
This is Black Leader. Scott has a videotape we need. Get it from him. Use whatever force you have to.
Yeah, this is Brandon. Listen, I've caught an alien on videotape. Couldn't believe it. You have to see this. It's gonna blow everyone's mind.
Brandon, fancy meeting you here.
Hey, you're an idiot. You made me look like an idiot. Get out of my way. Okay, hey, what are you doing? Hey, give me back, give back my tape. Give me back my tape. Come on, give me this. That's really important. Give me the tape.
What do you want with me? Who are you? You with the FBI? The CIA? The DIA? You're trying to stop me? What?
You are the worst UFO investigator I have ever personally debunked. See you around, Brandon.
Fortunately, it was a duplicate tape. The original copy was safe in a hidden vault. Bill Smith was a debunker, and I fell into his trap, hook, line, and sinker. I had proof, but if they're trying to stop me, there had to be a bigger picture. I tailed them for miles to an abandoned military testing facility just outside of town. There was no apparent reason for anyone to be there. I waited for him to leave before I made my move. There are many stories about being invaded through war between nations, war between races, and war between worlds. But the worst invasion I can think of is when someone or something invades your body and mind. What is it to be a human, an individual, no matter what race or origin? It is the right and the ability to choose, without which we are like a computer whose chip is inserted and replaced at the whim of its creator. My mind was resolved. I realized that the soul of humankind, history, future, and especially our free will, was at the vortex of extinction. To be or not to be, it is all a matter of choice. And if we ever lose the right to choose, then we lose everything. That moment, I knew that the fate of humankind was in my hands. Bill Smith was with the DIA. He went to a lot of trouble to do surveillance on the women I had interviewed. It wasn't my fault this happened. It was because of me their lives were in danger. And he'd been watching Terry Ann. I swore to do everything I could to stop it, even if it meant my life. For those of you who don't know, beware. For those of you who do know, then you know that I'm always out there for you, searching, looking for that one thing that will bring us closer to the truth, to the understanding that life may end tonight, or tomorrow night, or in the very near future. But for now, my show must end, as I go to a place where I've never gone before, to bring you the news of my discoveries that I can't tell you about right now, of things that I will share with you in the future, if we have one. I must go now. I'll see you on the web. This is UFO Man, out there for you. Adios. Sayonara, arrivederci, goodbye. Galit naka, shalom.
Brandon was a strange fellow. He had an important thing to say, but nobody was listening.
Well, I was listening.
It went better than I could ever imagine. One of my high-level contacts got me into the White House. My research material was taken straight to the president. He was so intrigued, he asked to see me right away. And he bought my ideas to set up a program to further my investigation. He had big plans for me, he said. And he asked me to be his consultant, a paranormal specialist, he called it. But that didn't change the fact that there was an alien threat to our planet. And it was like my work had just begun.
Thousands of people around Phoenix, Arizona saw what many insist must have been a ship from another planet.
In Russia, a large group who gathered to see a famous singer being filmed saw more than they bargained for when a UFO suddenly appeared above their heads.
Just recently, one of our viewers captured a UFO on tape.
20 school children artistically described their observation of a low-flying UFO.
Thousands of people have witnessed UFOs.
And take a look at this. They videotaped fast-moving lights that seemed to be flying in a rough formation tracking their plane. The pilot said they saw one light, then 3, then up to 16 lights following them, as seen on these images broadcast on Mexican TV.
The program detailed a massive UFO cover-up by the government.
And you will see that many of the things that people think they saw correlate perfectly with the Air Force Research Project.
And is an Air Force base in Nevada hiding actual UFOs? What the government doesn't want you to know tonight on Action News at 10.
Imagine the effect it would have on everything from economics to religion, to suddenly find out that our global village is actually a galactic village.
The space shuttle lights up the early morning sky as it blasts its way into the atmosphere, carrying 2 biogenetic scientists and 2 astronauts on their way to resupply the International Space Station.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
How about now?
Yeah, base, this is Alpha 1. I read, over. Go ahead.
This is Brandon Scott, streaming live from Station 07, letting everyone on Earth know that I haven't given up and I'm still in pursuit of alien life forms. If there's any ETs out here, I'll find them.
It's me, God. I wish you were home. I keep talking to myself. I got my ear to the phone. I'm drawing on the walls. Voices echo through the halls. Hello, heaven. Are you taking any calls? To me
Anyway, there's a UFO base over here that I've been investigating for years. I'll show you the UFO base. This is a UFO base, a real one. I have a lot of videotape of that place for a few years ago, and back then they had a lot of little open structures, and they covered them all up and videotaped them. I got a feeling they saw me doing it.